Have you ever wondered why some people radiate an energy that makes you want to be near them? They're not richer, more talented, or more famous. Yet something in the way they live makes others feel calmer, clearer, simply by being around them. These people were not born different. They simply learned something most of us have forgotten. Every day they work with their own souls. Modern humans spend nearly all their time controlling the external world, work, relationships, reputation, but neglect the inner world. Today we'll walk through 10 things you must practice every day, not to become better, but to become truer. 10 practices that can change how you think, feel, and show up in the world. Growth doesn't begin with leaps. It begins when you stop listen and make peace with yourself. Are you ready to begin? Practice 1. Self-observation instead of auto-reaction. Have you ever said something in anger and wished you could take it back? Or felt someone got under your skin without understanding why? Most of the time, we don't truly live consciously. We're merely reacting, not choosing. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Self-observation breaks that cycle. It's about learning to pause before reacting. Between reaction and observation lies a small space. Within that space, freedom begins. Imagine you're driving and someone cuts you off. The automatic reaction is anger. But if you pause for 1 second, take a deep breath, and watch that anger, something strange happens. The anger dissolves. You realize you are not the anger. You are the witness. Instead of being controlled by emotion, you become the observer. When you're no longer swept away by each wave, you see what lies beneath fear of being judged, feeling unloved, or old memories triggering defense. A friend often got angry at slow coworkers. After journaling about her triggers, she discovered the anger wasn't towards them. It was toward the part of her that feared she wasn't good enough. By observing long enough, she realized anger was a mirror reflecting inner insecurity. Self-observation is quiet healing. It doesn't require instant change, only presence. Each time you pause, you tell the unconscious, I am ready to see. And when you see, it opens as your ally in growth. Start simple. Each day, write for 5 minutes about what triggered you. Raw feelings. I felt angry when. I felt hurt when. Gradually, you'll notice patterns. Once you see them, they lose their hold. Practice 2. Balancing doing and being. We live in an age that worships action. Everything revolves around what to do next. Finishing projects, achieving goals, improving. Society says if we stop, we'll fall behind. But the soul doesn't grow in speed. It grows in stillness. Imagine your mind as a lake, constantly stirred by endless doing. Its surface turns murky, unable to reflect. But when you pause, let the wind calm the water, clears, and you see the true image of yourself. You don't need to do anything more. Just be present. We've forgotten that being is the energy that nourishes all action. A person who never stops will do much, but never feel fulfilled. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. We've lost the capacity to sit quietly with ourselves. Unprocessed thoughts, repressed emotions accumulate in the unconscious. That's why we often feel exhausted. Each day, spend 15 minutes doing nothing. Sit in silence, feel your breath, listen to the wind. At first, you may feel restless, but you're allowing your mind to return to its natural frequency. When you are present, you're no longer pulled by chaos. You create your own rhythm. Intuition speaks only when the mind is quiet. Silence is the bridge between consciousness and the deeper self. In that space, the unconscious is heard, intuition awakens, and your true self begins to speak. If these words made you pause, just to breathe, to listen to yourself, Amidst life's endless motion, know that you've touched something real. Have you ever had a moment when you truly sat with yourself, not striving, not chasing, not proving, just being, and felt an unfamiliar peace? Practice 3. Cultivating inner honesty. When you learn to be present, you hear more of what's inside. Not only peace, but uncomfortable whispers you once ignored. Stillness reveals what you've avoided. That's where inner honesty begins. Being honest with yourself is one of the hardest things. We easily see others' faults, but hide our own. Shadow confrontation means facing the darkness within. Every time we pretend everything's fine, we're putting a bandage over a deep wound that continues to ache. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Inner honesty means having courage to say, "I'm hurting here." It's acknowledging jealousy, fear, selfishness, weakness. Honesty doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. I knew a woman successful, always composed. Yet in relationships, she seemed cold, distant. In therapy, she discovered behind her calmness lay deep fear of being hurt. Growing up, where showing emotion meant weakness, she'd learned to freeze her feelings. Once she saw this, she stopped controlling emotions. She began listening to her fear, accepting it as natural. Her relationships became authentic because she no longer needed to perform strength to be loved. People who regularly identify and name emotions have lower stress and higher resilience. When we're honest about feelings, the nervous system exits defense mode. Body and mind realign. Each day ask, where am I pretending to be calm? What am I avoiding? The moment you dare to ask, you open a door where awareness can illuminate what you've hidden. Start small. Admit when you're tired. Speak honestly when sad. Or simply breathe deeply instead of forcing, "I'm fine." Every small truth brings you closer to who you really are. Practice 4. Protecting your energetic boundaries. When you become honest enough to look inward, you begin to notice something deeper. Not every heaviness you feel is yours. Sometimes it's energy you've unconsciously absorbed from others. That's why protecting your own energetic boundaries matters so deeply. Understanding Carl Jung empath and personal development principles helps us recognize how sensitive souls absorb the emotional currents around them. Imagine yourself as a candle in the night. Your flame can light up a room, but if you stand too close to the wind, it flickers, weakens, even goes out. Modern life is full of winds, emotional currents, expectations, pressures from others blowing through you every day. If you don't protect your inner flame, that light will no longer be your own. You cannot touch the soul if you are constantly entangled in the energy of others. When you let your energy blend with others, you lose your soul's center, that still, clear original space that connects you to awareness itself. Notice how your mood shifts each day. You may feel peaceful in the morning, but after a single conversation, you feel heavy. Or you leave a meeting feeling drained, even though nothing bad happened. That's not weakness, it's sensitivity. This is emotional identification, unconsciously absorbing others' frequencies and mistaking them for your own. Thus, energetic boundaries aren't about pushing people away, but about returning to your true frequency. Like an instrument, you must retune your strings daily, or the sound will go off key. Each morning before you begin the day, set a simple intention. Today, I choose to stay in my own energy. This small sentence acts as a psychological anchor, reconnecting you with your inner center before stepping into the world. Also, observe your energy after each interaction. Ask, do I feel lighter or heavier after this conversation? The body always knows the truth before the mind can explain it. And most importantly, don't fear setting boundaries. Kindness doesn't mean allowing others to invade your inner space. A soul with real light knows how to open without dissolving. Boundaries aren't walls. They are the sacred lines that preserve your energy so you can love more deeply and be more fully present. Practice 5. Psychological discipline. Discipline is often misunderstood as coercion, but inner discipline is about integration, aligning mind, emotions, and actions toward one inner axis. Think of Odysseus, who must overcome temptations on his journey home. Lured by sirens, seduced by Circe, offering every pleasure. Yet Odysseus orders his sailors to tie him to the mast so he won't yield and forget his true path. That is spiritual discipline, not fleeing desire, but holding steady to the soul's direction. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Inner discipline is embracing challenge as growth. I met a young woman in a creative field who hated repetition. She'd start projects, but abandon them halfway. Discipline felt like death of inspiration. After years of fatigue, she tried something small, writing 15 minutes each morning, inspired or not. Months later, something miraculous happened. Her inspiration deepened. Discipline didn't kill freedom. It became the soil where freedom bloomed. Think of discipline as forging a sword. Every kept promise, reading 10 pages, meditating, journaling strengthens the bond with yourself. When your word to yourself becomes trustworthy, your mind stabilizes. People who maintain daily micro-habits have higher confidence and focus. The brain responds positively to completion. The conscious and unconscious reorganize through consistent action. Inner discipline isn't extreme effort, but alignment. When mind and action unite, you feel inner strength. You act from self-respect, not fear. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Every disciplined act awakens you amid chaos. Practice acceptance of paradox. Once you've cultivated inner discipline, you begin to realize that life no longer operates under rigid categories of right or wrong as the mind prefers. The things that once confused you start to reveal hidden wisdom. This marks the next stage, learning to accept paradox. Only the paradox comes anywhere near to comprehending the fullness of life. Humans crave clarity, right or wrong, light or dark, success or failure. But the soul doesn't evolve linearly. It grows through contradiction, through sitting between opposites, without discarding either side. Every inner conflict is an invitation from the soul, urging us to expand consciousness, to hold both sides of a truth. When you choose only light and reject shadow, you tear yourself in two. But when you dare to see both, integration begins. And that is true maturity. A woman once told me she hated feeling weak. She always appeared strong, controlled, emotionless. Yet after a painful breakup, she was forced to stop. In therapy, she discovered that the weakness she despised was precisely what made her human. She learned to accept that she could be both strong and vulnerable, that these qualities were not contradictions, but complements. "I thought I had lost my edge," she said. "But in truth, I was only learning how to let my heart soften." That's the paradox. True strength comes from the courage to be tender. Real light doesn't come from banishing darkness, but from illuminating it. Only when you face the opposing forces within do you reach a deeper level of awareness, where peace no longer depends on circumstances, but on understanding that everything has its place in your evolution. People who can hold two seemingly opposite beliefs, for instance, "I'm confident and I have much to learn," tend to be more creative, calm, and resilient. Their brains don't rush to close the case, but keep open space for integration rather than opposition. Each day when something doesn't go your way, try shifting the question from "why is this happening?" to "what can I learn from both sides of it?" When you can do that, you cease being a victim of difficulty and become a student of life. Someone who knows that every paradox carries a hidden invitation to grow through acceptance, not control. Practice 7. Soul work in the ordinary. The soul isn't found in grand moments, but in ordinary acts of life. In all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order. Beneath the noise, an invisible order works the order of the soul. Imagine the soul as a garden. It doesn't flourish from sudden storms, but gentle, steady watering. Every time you brew tea in silence, write in your journal, or walk slowly under the sun, you water that garden. These acts may seem trivial, yet they're the soul's rituals. We often think growth comes from big achievements, but maturity begins when we live fully within small, repeated gestures. Think of Mother Teresa. What moved the world wasn't her speeches, but how she bent down to hold the dying, washed wounds, smiled for seconds that held eternity. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. You don't need a distant spiritual journey. Start by doing ordinary things with extraordinary awareness. Washing dishes mindfully is meditation. Writing a thank you note touches gratitude's depth. Feeling the breeze returns you to life's rhythm. In these moments, something magical happens. Life stops being a task list and becomes vivid experience. A cup of tea becomes a lesson in presence. A quiet walk becomes conversation with the universe. Each day, choose one small act and do it with full awareness. Not for efficiency, but because it's the moment you're truly alive. When you feed the soul through the ordinary, you realize life was never ordinary. Only our eyes had grown dull. Practice 8. Listening to symbols and synchronicities. There are days when you keep seeing the same number everywhere. 11, 11, on a clock, on license plates, on a coffee receipt. Or you think about someone all morning, and they message you that afternoon. Sometimes you dream of a strange image, and a few days later, something in real life mirrors it. That's not coincidence. It is synchronicity, meaningful coincidence. The way the unconscious communicates through symbols, signs, and seemingly random events. The unconscious doesn't speak in logic, but in symbols, sending messages through dreams, intuition, and chance encounters. Whenever you pay attention to them, you open the bridge between consciousness and soul. A woman once shared that after her mother passed, she kept seeing white butterflies in her room on her balcony even in dreams. At first, she thought it was chance, but she realized every time she felt lost or hopeless, a butterfly appeared. For her, it wasn't just a symbol of her mother. It was a reminder of continuity, a whisper that love never dies. It only changes form. Dreams are the guiding words of the soul. When you listen to them, you learn your soul's private language, the language it keeps speaking, even when reason forgets. Symbols don't come to frighten you, they come to reveal you. A wave may symbolize repressed emotion. An old house may represent a memory awaiting healing. A child in a dream might be the innocent part of you that longs to return. Practicing symbolic awareness doesn't require complex techniques. Each morning, write down any dreams or images you recall, no matter how meaningless they seem. Don't analyze yet, just record. Over time, you'll notice patterns, repeated images, recurring themes, emotions tied to them. That's the unconscious speaking waiting for you to listen. Just as nature sends signals, rain before storms, wind before spring, the unconscious sends subtle signs before the conscious mind catches up. By noticing these small signs, you become more attuned to your inner life. One day, you'll realize everything around you from last night's dream to a stranger's random comment can mirror your soul. And when you listen with your heart instead of logic, you see that the world isn't just a place you live in. It's a living conversation between you and the universe. Practice 9. Conscious gratitude. When you start noticing coincidences, symbols, dreams, you understand that life is whispering to you. And the most beautiful way to respond is not by analyzing, but by softly saying, "Thank you." The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But to reach that true self, you must first be grateful for the whole journey, including its darkness. Gratitude is a sign that the mind has transcended the ego, because the ego always wants more, while the soul simply wants to be. Gratitude means you stop chasing what's missing and start seeing the beauty in what already is. When you practice conscious gratitude, you recalibrate your mental frequency. Gratitude is not positive thinking or self-comfort. It's daring to see things as they are and still say thank you. It's when heart and awareness meet, when you stop judging life and start appreciating it. A viewer once shared that after an accident left her temporarily unable to walk, she fell into depression. Every day she felt her body had betrayed her. Her life collapsed. In therapy, her psychologist asked her to write 3 things she was grateful for each night, however small. At first, she did it reluctantly. "I can still breathe. I have friends. I can hear the rain." A month later, something changed. Her mind softened. When she stopped fighting, reality gratitude appeared. Not because life got better, but because she began to see meaning even in imperfection. This is the reconciliation of opposites. When you're grateful for both light and darkness, you become whole. Because darkness isn't punishment, it deepens your light. Think of gratitude as a small lamp in a dark room. It doesn't erase the night, but it lets you see the path. Each time you say thank you, you light another candle in your soul. Slowly, even if darkness remains, you no longer fear it, because you understand it too is part of life. People who keep gratitude journals are happier and recover from emotional trauma faster. Neurologically, gratitude increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region linked to understanding and inner peace. In other words, when you're grateful, your brain learns to view the world through the lens of the soul. So every night, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not just good ones, but the challenges that made you grow. When you can thank what once hurt you, healing has already begun. At day's end, simply close your eyes and whisper, "Thank you." Even if today wasn't perfect, that moment itself is a gift, because you are alive, learning, expanding your soul. Gratitude doesn't change circumstances, it changes you. And when you change the world around you, quietly shifts too. Practice 10. Reconnection with nature. Have you ever wondered why simply standing in a forest or sitting quietly by the sea makes your mind still without effort? It's as if something in nature knows how to heal us, not through words, but through presence. At times I feel as if I am spread out over the landscape and inside things, and am myself living in every tree and the splashing of the waves in the clouds and the animals that come and go. That wasn't mere poetry. It was describing the union between the human soul and the soul of the universe. Nature isn't just the backdrop of our lives, but the mirror of our souls. When we lose connection with nature, we lose connection with our deepest selves. Nature doesn't hurry, doesn't hide, doesn't try to be anything else. It simply is. And in that being, we glimpse the original image of our own soul, pure, honest, tranquil. A woman once shared that after years in finance, she reached total burnout. She tried yoga meditation vacations, but still felt heavy. One day she moved to a small town with forests and a river. At first, she just took short morning walks, no goal. But gradually she noticed when she walked barefoot on the ground, listened to leaves rustle, watched the sky change color, she felt lighter. Not because problems vanished, but because she stopped spinning inside her mind. Nature didn't teach me anything new, she said. It just helped me remember who I was. That is the view of nature in Carl Jung empath and personal development work. It frees us from the collective unconscious, the layer shaped by crowd and social expectations. When you step outside, touch a tree, watch a bird, or simply listen to the rain, you leave humanity's noise and return to life's primal frequency. Nature is the living symbol of the self, the center of the psyche, where opposites unite. The mountain doesn't fight to be taller than the sea. The wind doesn't compare itself to the cloud. Everything coexists, transforms, supports one another in invisible harmony. When you reconnect with nature, you learn inner harmony, how different parts of you can exist without conflict. To begin this journey, try a small daily ritual. Spend a few minutes just looking at the sky. No phone, no thought, no analysis. Just look. Or touch a tree and feel the rough bark beneath your palm. When you do this, you are reopening dialogue with the unconscious. Every breath in nature is a gentle reminder you belong here. You are not separate. Let every day hold a moment of returning to nature. Not to escape life, but to remember you are life. And in that moment, you no longer need to seek peace. You are peace. These 10 principles are not tips to make you perfect. They are 10 breaths bringing you back to your true self. Like a craftsman patiently carving lines into wood, you learn to slow down, observe, be honest, hold boundaries, and nurture your soul through small, repeated acts. Each conscious moment etches a delicate mark that shapes a mature soul. And if you've ever wondered, what makes a person calm, clear, and serene? The answer isn't learning something new, but daring to return inward, to listen to the smallest voice inside you. When you practice these 10 principles, you don't just understand intellectually. You live the spirit with every breath. Through self-observation, you find freedom in the pause. Through balancing being and doing, you give actions a soul. Through inner honesty, you make peace with your shadow. Through energetic boundaries, you protect your sacred flame. Through discipline, you align with your deepest self. Through paradox, you hold life's contradictions with grace. Through soul work, you discover the sacred in every moment. Through symbols, you hear the universe speaking. Through gratitude, you transform darkness into depth. Through nature, you remember you belong to life. This is the essence of Carl Jung empath and personal development, the journey of becoming whole by integrating all parts of yourself, conscious and unconscious, light and shadow action, and stillness. It's not about perfection. It's about truth. It's not about control. It's about awareness. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been. You are not broken. You were just asleep, and now you're waking up. The world needs your light, the real light from a soul no longer hiding. Take these practices into your days. Let them become your life's rhythm. And watch as everything quietly shifts, not because the world changed, but because you finally came home to yourself. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakes? You're awake now. The journey is just beginning. Walk it consciously, breath by breath, day by day. And remember, the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are.